Hi, I'm Victoria Ballou, and thank you for trusting your intuition and coming here in this moment to choose a stack of cards to hear a message directly from your subconscious that you need to hear right now. So think about which stack of cards you would like to hear the message from. Does it lie underneath Vesta, my warrior priestess, or underneath the amazing fossilized shell, or under the quartz obelisk? Think about that. And while you're deciding, remember that I invite you to subscribe to my monthly magazine, Astrologic, which I produce every single month with a constellation of incredible astrologers, people involved in tarot and all the other metaphysical sciences. And of course, I write about tarot and dreams in each issue. There is a wonderful archive there of dream symbols, as well as tarot spreads and everything that you really could want from that perspective. So give it a look. Check out Astrologic Magazine at astrologicmagazine.com. If you enjoy my episodes here on this channel, then I know you'll love the magazine. You'll get to tune into all the things that you enjoy, plus you'll discover some new things. All right, did that give you time to choose which stack of cards you want to have your message from today? We are going to begin with the very first stack, underneath Vesta, my warrior priestess. Let's scoot her over and take a look at the first card, which is your overview card. Your energy from a broad standpoint right now. You'll know what it is. Okay, interesting. So you have the Six of Swords. This is called science here in the Thoth deck. And what this is speaking of is that you're using a combination of your logic mind, your intellectual mind, but also there's a little bit of your spiritual side involved. And that's why you have this wonderful, you have the Christian cross here, and then you also have these swords which speak of intellect going through the cross. And so this means you're taking a very objective viewpoint right now, that you are looking at things from both of these perspectives and allowing them to come together to create the mindset that you have at this moment. And so, this is a pretty good point of view that you have. So whatever this is, whether it's on a big scale or a smaller scale, this is something that's really interesting for you right now because you feel like you have a firm grip on whatever this perspective is that you were trying to gain a perspective on. Or maybe it wasn't even a voluntary thing, but you have a perspective on something right now, and it's pretty objective. But of course, there is a challenge. There's always a challenge. But challenges, the flip side of the challenge coin is opportunity. So let's take a look at what that challenge is for you right now and the opportunity that you have to address the challenge. And it is the Hanged Man. So while you have this marvelous perspective going, you're still in this place where you're creating some suffering for yourself, right? Because that's what the Hanged Man represents, is repeating a pattern that no longer serves you, or maybe never served you. But here's the thing with what we humans tend to do, and that is that we get comfortable with the way something is working, even if it's not working for us, even if it's not beneficial for us. We are familiar with it, and therefore we will stay with it rather than stepping into the unknown and the fear that we have of the unknown, even though it could potentially turn out to be better for us. Well, we get stuck in these patterns, right? I call them mind ruts. And that's very, very common. It's very typical of what we do. That's your challenge energy right now as you're dealing with this energy of having this wonderful perspective. So this is saying you have this perspective, but that there's nothing coming from it that's really new. And I think that the tarot is saying step outside of that rut, outside of that very common and familiar path. Therefore, we're going to take a look at the third card, which is your call to action card. Yeah. Okay, so Ace of Cups here. This is saying, yes, you need a fresh start. You need a fresh start into something that is going to feel very invigorating to you emotionally. But of course, emotionally, that can also relate to intellectually and spiritually as well, right? So please consider what these cards are saying, and that is that you are in a place where you feel like you have things figured out. I get that. But take a second look at this. Look a little bit deeper into whatever this is that you're dealing with, and consider that maybe you're going over an old path that you can gain a different perspective of if you look at it differently. That's what this spread is calling you to do. And by doing that, you will have a fresh approach that creates something new and dynamic in your life and feels wonderful for you. All right, let's take a look at the second spread underneath our beautiful fossilized shell. The first card is your overview, which is your energy from a broad standpoint right now. Let's take a look and see what it is. How nice. It's the star, the beautiful star energy. Of course, this just means you're shining like a star right now. With this energy comes very clear perception of what's going on in your life, and congratulations. Nothing's better than feeling like you really understand what's going on right now. That's invigorating and it's exciting, and it's a wonderful place to be. So along with this perception, this comes with a huge dose of using your intuition, right? Because that's what the star represents, is bringing those thoughts that are in your head, which have come to you through intuition, through maybe creativity as well, and you finding how they integrate into your physical life. That's what this star energy is talking about right now, and how fabulous for you. But of course you have a challenge. Let's take a look at what this challenge energy is. So it's 5 of Cups here in the top deck. It's called disappointment. So this very clear perception that you have going, this even though you're feeling like a star in some way, there's an element of disappointment within you, right? And of course the 5 is a very unstable feeling, numerically, from a numerology standpoint. This is making you feel off balance. That's what this number represents. But it's also a creative number. 5 is also represents creativity. And so this being your challenge card, though, this is saying that there's something in your life right now that you've gained some perspective on and you're feeling some disappointment with. So we're going to move to your course of action called for card to see what this is and how to deal with this disappointment. You have the Prince of Discs. Prince of Discs is all about structure. He is the list maker, or she, could be she as well, is a list maker and someone who creates structure in their lives and follows through with that structure, follows through with that plan. So, of course, this card can represent you, whether you're male or female. It can represent just the general energy, or it could represent someone else in your life that is bringing forth, helping you with a plan, because this is your course of action called for. So this is saying, yes, you need to work with the disappointment that you're feeling by putting together a plan or looking to someone else to help you put together a plan. And actually, intuitively, that's what I'm getting that you need to do, is that there is someone who can help you. And again, this does not have to be a male. It can be a female in your life, either professionally or personally, who can help you put together some sort of structure to overcome this disappointment. This is what you're dealing with right now. And I really hope that you pay attention to this, because you can adjust this disappointment that you're feeling simply by stepping forward into a place of having a plan that is going to work for you. And just keep working at it until you feel like you have this plan in place. All right, let's take a look at the third stack of cards. Your first card is your overview card. This is your energy from a broad standpoint right now. Let's see what it is. You have the Two of Discs, change. Of course, discs represent your physical life, and they can also represent your financial life. So change means that, yes, there's change happening, and along with this change, there's always a little bit of a balancing act. Well, it could be a little bit, it could be a lot. But this is a balancing act that you are feeling right now in your life, that you're just trying to find that place that feels comfortable for you again. So this means that something has taken you off balance up until right now, and now you're trying to regain that place. It could also mean that the change is just happening to you exactly right now, and you're feeling very off balance. Again, physical life, your home, your job, your finances, something around this. It could also be your physical body. Actually, that's what it's feeling like too, is that this could be changes happening within your physical body that you're adjusting to. It could be anything from adapting to a new workout routine, which a lot of us do at the beginning of the new year. It could be anything, but there's change happening in your life, and it's playing a part in making you feel off balance right now. So that's where you are. And if that weren't enough, you do have a challenge card here. So let's take a look at what that is. So you have the Lovers. This could mean a couple of things. The first one obviously means that you could be in a place right now where there's change happening in your relationship. And if that's the case, a personal relationship with someone else, your significant other, then that could very well be indicated right here. This can also represent the fact that you're being challenged in the alignment of yourself. I've seen this many readings where the Lovers represent you having two aspects of yourself which are not in alignment. Two different minds about something, that approaches to something. This is saying, whatever this is saying you need to adjust to this change that's happening, because clearly it is. If this is a change that's happening within yourself and you are feeling out of alignment, then very much you need to find the way to put this back into, you need to put yourself back into the place where you feel complete again, where you feel whole. And if this is dealing with a relationship with a significant other, and if the change has happened, and if it needs to progress without this person in your life, then you need to go through that process as well. But you know, we have the third card, the course of action called for card, that we're going to take a look at. Let's see if this gives us some indication of what's going on. Yeah, it sure does. So here's the Four of Cups talking to us about luxury. And this is the action that you need to take. The way that I interpret this, and it feels very much so intuitively as just, you know, the wave comes to me as far as all three of these cards creating the narrative, the picture of what's going on here. This is saying that you need to accept the dissolution of a relationship and move on from there with gratitude, with understanding where you are right now. And even though there may be sadness involved, regret, or, you know, all of these feelings that can come when a relationship ends, nevertheless, you need to move through that and be grateful for the things that you do have. Put yourself back in that place of knowing that you will move through this, right? That's what you need to do. If you are working within yourself to find this alignment, then you need to take some time to be to do something nice for yourself. to revel in the luxury of doing something like a massage or going to a museum or someplace that allows you to step back and take a break. It will help this change that's happening. It will help you look at it from a different perspective, and that is going to make a huge difference for you and allow you to find out how to move through, whether it's realigning within yourself these aspects, or whether it's turning loose. If you're at the end of a relationship, whatever this is, just allow yourself some perspective and be gentle with yourself while you move through this time. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them for me below. I always enjoy hearing from you and knowing how I can help you. Thank you for joining me.